something about it. For us, the children of an immigrant family, us being immigrant ourselves, we only have one truth. How do we assist our parents? Sometimes we put our education aside, sometimes we put our personal lives aside, and we commit to the spirit of our family, because that's what we are. As a community, we are a family. And I love that we have this in common with African Americans, with Asians, with Indians. We have this thing in common. All of the minorities, which are now, and I would like to say officially, the majority in this country, we now have a value that is going to come back to America. And that is, its family is with, by, and for us. That's what it is. It's with, by, and for us. And the only way that we are going to tailor this government is by asking people. It's not about, okay, we voted them, so then now we're going to do the things that we do. No, 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 no. We now have to elect. We have to shape, we have to tailor the government to what we need tomorrow. Because it's your generation, it's this generation that's going to need the right government. We need the right government to rule for and with us, for where we need to be. We cannot assume that certain people are going to relate to our struggles and relate to who we are, and most importantly, relate to where we're going to be if they don't understand where we truly come from, or they don't even share our story. So we need to make sure we tailor that government and get the people on that hill that really truly can speak on behalf of us. I remember I told my dad, I said, listen, I want to do something about it. Can I work? Can I get a job? And you know my dad said? My dad said, Neil, your job is to get the education that I never had. I'm still in the mix. He was like, I'm about to get this. It's good. He goes, yeah,